Factors to consider when choosing a web hosting service. If you are looking for an amazing web hosting services, then you are at the right place. We discuss main factors to consider when choosing a web hosting service. In the modern world, every business needs a great website to introduce himself. There are many options are available in the market, so you need a experience to buy best web hosting service. Now here we discuss the main features that you look before purchasing a hosting. After the research of 48 hours, I am able to present you the factors to consider when choosing a web hosting services. Number 1. Downtime. Among the most important statistics when choosing your hosting service would be to find out what their downtime figures are. For a company or e-commerce site, it's important to be accessible to your customer as frequently as possible, so the lower the downtime, the greater. The largest websites will go down for maintenance from time to time, so search for figures over 99% or greater in terms of host availability. Number 2. Scalability. You need to assess if your hosting provider along with the plan you've chose have a location on your future plans. Fundamentally, what's sufficient for your company at present might not be sufficient in a couple of decades. This is particularly true when your site begins enjoying high search engine rankings and more visitors. If you'd like your company to keep growing, then you want to be certain your website provider shares the exact same vision with you. Otherwise, it is going to be difficult to expand. Number 3. Email range. Nearly all companies that register domain names will really wish to use an email system which makes use of the domain. Therefore, it might be well worth making sure your web hosting service includes this facility. It's rare for it to not be provided to some degree, but the more compact web hosting bundles may restrict your website to some few web addresses. Number 4. Uptime rating. Great. However, the question is, how can it really stay online? To your website to accomplish this, you need to assess how secure your web hosting agency is. When there are lots of server tracking tools you could use to track a web server, simply assessing their uptime scores will probably suffice in permitting you to know if your hosting support is not or steady. Nowadays, the market standard is currently at 99.5% uptime. Anything lower than this ought to be prevented. Number 5. Price. Even though this is surely an important element, this shouldn't be the deciding factor. It could be tempting to select the least expensive option since you believe that it will help save you money. Materials such as quality hardware and non-outsourced service don't come cheap, and a business which protects the bare minimum probably won't offer those features. So, have a look at the features of every hosting service initially and compare prices afterwards. Number 6. Features. Ask yourself what sets apart from one web hosting business from others. What makes them unique? Can they give extra incentives? Can it be their energy-saving clinics or free domain coverage that's appealing? Usually, web hosting firms do more than supply servers. If you find one that provides features you think are significant, then that's an indication you need to seriously look at that supplier. Number 7. Server upgrades. Web hosting providers can be found in various plans and costs. But if you're still new to the internet world, then there's a high chance you'll have a shared hosting plan. If that's true, then we strongly suggest choosing a provider that allows you to upgrade your server later on. Following your site expands and gains a broader quantity of traffic, a shared hosting plan will no more have the ability to manage all of the bandwidth. That's the reason it's ideal to obtain a hosting provider which may allow you to upgrade your plan. It's a lot more convenient than having to search for a new host and shifting your entire website to this provider. Number 8. Support. There can come a moment in which you encounter a host problem which you cannot fix all on your own. A fantastic customer support staff. In the end, you need your hosting provider to be able to provide reactive support, if that is by way of telephone or chat. For this, you can sort your website's issues straight away. We propose looking through internet forums or societal networking to dig up info on a possible hosting provider's support staff. This will provide you with some insight to the type of help they may provide you. Number 9. Backups. We're not exaggerating when we say that backups are essential for any website. Your website might be outfitted with all the safety measures known to man. But, there's still a distinct possibility it may undergo a collision, hack, or virus which will take it down. Because of this, you want to discover a hosting service which provides a fantastic backup coverage. If worse comes to worst, this might enable you to get your website running and back. Your supplier ought to be able to recoup your website, or even a huge part of it, at least, fast so that you won't lose out on any visitors. Number 10. Data limits. This is only one of the most crucial factors for almost any website, and may especially affect individuals that are employing the cheapest kinds of web hosting. If your website gets quite popular very quickly, it may attain a data transfer limitation imposed by the web hosting service. If it does this, generally the web hosting agency will take down the website before you pay to get a bigger data transfer limitation or transfer the website to a different server. By tracking your traffic and usage figures, you need to be able to make certain this will not occur. Links are in description. Thank you.